On The Young and the Restless, just when Sharon finally seemed to accept that she was friend-zoned, Nick suddenly seems to be giving everyone hope of a reunion. Fans of Sharon and Nick have wanted them to reunite for ages. But could it finally, actually, be happening? Viewers got a glimpse of what that would look like back on Valentine's Day when Sharon dreamt of a reunion with Nick at Crimson Lights. The hand-holding, the dancing, the build-up to a kiss was all there until it wasn't. Sharon woke up to the reality that Nick just isn't that into her. Or is he? Sharon has definitely been through the ringer this past year, and her mental health was front and center. She was drugged, kidnapped twice, framed for murder, framed someone else for murder, and among a few other mere details, she nearly died several times. While some might see those events as just some of many reasons Nick should run in the opposite direction, Nick ran to Sharon instead. While he was her steadfast champion every day, refusing to let anyone convince him she wasn't worthy of his loyalty, Sharon wasn't exactly easy to take care of. Amidst tampered medication and running away, she also caused herself a large percentage of her problems. But Nick relentlessly supported her and even saved her life. Other times, he watched in awe as she saved herself. All the while, Nick marveled at Sharon's resilience, determination to survive, and how she used her love for her children as her motivation to get healthy. Now that Sharon is back on track and getting stronger daily, Sharon hasn't been shy about letting her feelings be known. She has always and still does love Nicholas. Nick, however, has also been straight with Sharon. Nick didn't want a relationship, he just wanted her to get better and to be her friend. However, there isn't anyone in Genoa City who isn't raising an eyebrow at this point. From Adam to Michael, reactions from those in Schick's life are starting to be shared about their seeming reunion, even if Nick is still in denial. On The Young and the Restless recently, Nick and Sharon took a family vacation to London. Then he brought her as his date to his mom's birthday party. Now, Nick has insisted that Sharon join him at Aristotle Dumas' private party in Nice, France. It's not just that he enjoys her company. Nick thinks it could be an intense meeting, and he wants Sharon there for him, noting that she knows him better than anyone. Nick is consistently tuned in and empathetic to everyone else's needs. With almost everyone in town asking about their status, could Nick really be that oblivious that he's giving us false hope? Or does Nick want a reunion and is leaning into making it happen? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Tessa's stunning blonde transformation on The Young and the Restless has fans buzzing about more than just hair. With her relationship with Mariah on shaky ground and secrets piling up, could this bold new look hint at deeper personal changes? Trouble may be brewing both in style and storyline. Kate Fairbanks shocked fans when she debuted her dramatic blonde makeover on The Young and the Restless. Many viewers didn't even recognize her as Tessa at first. Fairbanks found the reaction flattering, admitting she'd been dreaming of going blonde for a long time. Inspired by 70s starlets, she went for a golden honey hue. After months of hair care, trims, and slow bleaching, she finally reached the perfect tone. Fairbanks took her time, making sure her hair stayed healthy. The transition took nearly 5 months to complete. She shared the new look on Instagram, and the response was instant. Her co-stars, including Melissa Claire Egan, loved it. Still, Fairbanks was nervous about the big switch. She even warned the show's producers before showing up on set. Thankfully, they were just as excited as her fans. Fairbanks reflected on how the blonde shade has changed how people see her. She joked that strangers suddenly seem more open and friendly. That attention has even made her feel more outgoing, like the hair is affecting her vibe in real life. Could that translate to her on-screen character too? The timing of this makeover has fans speculating. On The Young and the Restless, Tessa's relationship with Mariah is clearly struggling. Maria is hiding something, and the lack of honesty is creating distance between them. Could Tessa's glow-up signal a new chapter, or even a breakup? In the past, Fairbanks has embraced wild hair colors, from red to purple and turquoise. She thrives on bold changes and keeping things unpredictable. That same energy may soon show in Tessa's storylines if the tension with Mariah continues to grow. Right now, Tessa seems unsure of where things stand. If Maria's secret explodes, it could push Tessa toward a reinvention, not just in looks, but in life. Fans are eager to see if this visual shift is just the beginning of something much deeper. As for Fairbanks, she's not done exploring. The only color she hasn't tried, a true red. With her love of transformation, a fiery shade could be next, on or off screen. Big changes are clearly ahead on The Young and the Restless, and Tessa's bold new look might just be the beginning. With Mariah growing more distant, fans wonder if Tessa will rediscover herself or break away completely. Stay tuned for more twists, only on Soap Opera Daily. As the beloved daytime drama, The Young and the Restless gears up for its June 11 episode, fans can expect a blend of strategic maneuvering, emotional reassurances, and rising tension ahead of a much-anticipated trip to France. The characters find themselves balancing loyalty, secrets, and personal doubts, setting the stage for more drama ahead. In a bold move, Chelsea Newman is prepared to use a powerful secret as leverage. She has uncovered the identity of Dumas, a mysterious figure whose name has stirred intrigue in recent episodes. With this knowledge, Chelsea hopes to bribe Victor Newman into backing off from targeting Billy Abbott. Her mission is simple in theory: protect Billy at any cost. However, Chelsea's plan hits turbulence when Nikki Newman discovers her intentions. Nikki doesn't waste time before revealing Chelsea's plan to Victor himself. Still, Chelsea holds on to the hope that knowing Dumas' identity will be a compelling bargaining chip. Meanwhile, Sally Spectra is wrestling with doubt and fear. With a trip to France on the horizon, she can't shake the sense that trouble is following them. Her anxiety centers on Billy, whose impulsive decisions have caused issues in the past. In an attempt to calm her, Billy promises to stay grounded and assures her they'll have a great time abroad. However, Sally remains wary, especially as Billy expresses uncertainty about whether Dumas is a friend or foe. Despite his intentions, she fears old patterns may resurface, derailing their chance at peace. Elsewhere, Adam Newman finds himself under pressure to take action against Billy. This growing pressure only adds to the sense of instability surrounding the Abbotts. For Chelsea, the stakes are growing higher, not just for Billy's protection, but for her credibility. Will she truly be able to sway Victor with what she knows? Even as skepticism builds around Chelsea's strategy, viewers are left wondering, could this be the one time Billy is granted a reprieve, or will past chaos catch up with him once more? As the characters prepare to leave for France, unresolved tensions and half-formed alliances cast a shadow over the upcoming journey. Chelsea's gamble may or may not pay off, and Sally's intuition suggests danger still lurks beneath the surface. The June 11 episode plants the seeds for future conflict while giving fans just enough to stay hooked. Chelsea's attempt to end the feud may be noble, but in Genoa City, even the best-laid plans rarely go as expected. Stay tuned to The Young and the Restless to see whether Chelsea's secret weapon changes the game, or simply adds fuel to the fire. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that there's new confirmation regarding a long-awaited debut. So let's talk about when Billy Flynn's first episode will air and why he wants fans to please be kind. In an interview with TV Guide, Flynn opened up about leaving his role as Chad DeMera on Days of Our Lives, which was a move that came at the perfect time. It turns out Roy and our executive producer and head writer Josh Griffith contacted Billy Flynn directly about trading Salem for Genoa City. Griffith previously worked as the head writer at DOL, so he was familiar with Flynn's work. Since Flynn was already feeling like he wanted a new challenge in his career, he decided to leave Days behind and accept the offer. Although Flynn suggested it felt like a huge gamble, he talked it over with his wife and took a leap of faith. Now Flynn's pleased with that decision since he feels like this job is checking off all the boxes he was looking for. Flynn confessed to being nervous when he joined the show and suggested his fellow cast members are forcing him to step up his game. That means Flynn's been putting a pretty insane amount of pressure on himself to be the best he can be. However, Billy Flynn got support right off the bat from Eric Braden since they worked together on Flynn's first day. It turns out Braden and Flynn got along from the get-go. Braden is a legend in the soap world, but Flynn received a warm welcome instead of the intimidating vibe that so many expect from the great Victor Newman. He's just super kind and sweet to me. It felt like he gave me the blessing, and that made me feel good, Flynn said. Tons of viewers have been speculating about who Flynn will be portraying. Flynn's debut is coming up during the week of June 16 to 20, so it seems like a done deal that he's Aristotle Dumas and Behind the Party invites. Of course, there's another layer here since the show hasn't revealed Dumas' true identity yet. All the proof so far suggests Dumas will be none other than a recast Kane Ashby, but Flynn didn't confirm or deny that. Nevertheless, Flynn did express his hope that fans will enjoy what's in store. In fact, Flynn had a special request for viewers now that his character's about to hit the air. "I put the work in, and I'm giving it my all, so please be kind," Flynn said. Due to Days' filming schedule, he'll continue to air on DOL for several months after his Y and R material starts airing. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Billy Flynn will continue to generate plenty of soap buzz, so we'll bring you updates on any other important news about his character and storyline. On the Wednesday, June 10, 2025, episode of The Young and the Restless, Billy and Sally got back on track. Victor pushed Adam to attack Billy, and Chelsea revealed she had something Victor wanted. Adam told a Newman Media employee to hold off indefinitely on the hit piece on Billy Abbott. Then he flashed back to conversations he had with Victor and also with Chelsea. Adam recalled Victor coming down hard on Billy and wanting Adam to attack him in print. Then, Adam recollected Chelsea asking him to give her his word that he'd leave Billy alone. Adam's flashbacks ended as Victor walked into his son's office. Adam gave his father some updates on work and how well things were progressing. Victor complimented Adam on the articles he wrote that praised Nikki's handling of Chancellor Industries. Then, he wanted to know where were the negative stories on Billy. Adam said his job was more than playing attack dog. Victor reminded Adam that his job was what Victor said it was. Adam said that the praise of Nikki shouldn't be connected to trashing Billy, which could happen if the stories run too close to each other. He said that attacking Billy could be a second wave, while Nikki's success was the first wave. Victor said he wanted Adam to crush Billy in the second wave. Then, the mogul moved on to talk about protecting Chancellor Industries from Dumas. Victor let Adam know that Sharon was going to Dumas's gala, presumably as Nick's guest. Adam was a bit miffed, but said he'd be happy for her if she got back with Nick. He conceded that it only made sense that they get back together. Victor told Adam not to worry about Sharon and Nick. He has his own family to worry about, and his business, too. Adam wondered if the big reveal with Dumas was for the guests or the world in general. How would Dumas keep everyone quiet once they learn his identity? Adam queried. Also, Adam wondered what could happen in Genoa City with most of the power players being in Nice. Victor said that Adam needed to write that Billy failed at Chancellor, and he would fail in his other companies. He added that he'll make Dumas an ally and together, they'll bring down Jack Abbott. Meanwhile, Nikki ran into Chelsea at Society. Chelsea tried to act like everything was fine, but Nikki gently probed and got her to open up. Chelsea came clean when she told Nikki that Victor was the problem. Chelsea buttered up Nikki by telling her she respected Victor and liked how he put his family first. But she added that Victor wants Newman Media to do things she's not comfortable with doing. Chelsea said it wasn't the flattering pieces on Nikki that were the issue, but rather the hit pieces on Billy. Chelsea told Nikki that Adam was not on board with negative stories about Billy. Chelsea asked for Nikki's advice on how she can deal with Victor and get him to back off. Nikki countered that this wasn't about handling Victor, but rather how Chelsea handled Adam. Chelsea said that Adam was subtly trying to divert Victor, but not manipulate him. Nikki noted that it wouldn't be a wise move. Both women doubted that Victor would focus on Dumas instead of Billy for very long. Nikki asked Chelsea if she'd like her to intervene on her behalf with Victor. Chelsea didn't want to ask her that. Nikki wondered why Chelsea was so invested in protecting Billy. Chelsea noted that it was also about keeping Adam safe. Chelsea said she didn't want Adam and Billy to become the next Victor and Jack. She added that she didn't want Connor and Johnny to continue the feud. That wouldn't be good for anybody, Chelsea pointed out. She added that when Victor was shot, Adam was horrified. He just wants to make Victor proud. His instinct is to comply with Victor. Adam's need for his father's love runs so deep, Chelsea cautioned. Nikki said she admired Chelsea's determination, but many have tried and failed to change Victor. Nikki compared Adam and Chelsea being on and off over the years to the journey Nikki and Victor had been on. Chelsea lamented that there were no magic words to get Victor to change his mind. Nikki suggested that Chelsea make Victor an offer, something he'd want in exchange for backing off of Billy. Chelsea asked what she could have that Victor would want. Nikki wasn't sure, but it would have to be something more valuable than getting revenge against Billy. At the Genoa City Athletic Club, Billy and Sally talked about their upcoming trip to Paris to meet Dumas. Sally was determined to make the journey a successful one for the man she loved. Billy said he wanted to have a partnership with Dumas so his business could grow. Sally asked Billy if he thought that was a possibility. She conceded that Billy was in a different category from the other power players in Genoa City. Billy said he'd focus on rest, relaxation, and romance, of course, when he and Sally go to Paris. Billy called himself the president of the Anti-Victor fan club. He added that Dumas wanted to get his hands on Chancellor, and he was assembling an army. Sally half-jokingly asked Billy if he was a general. 4 stars, Billy replied. Sally pointed out that Dumas ghosted him. What is that supposed to tell him? Sally suggested that Dumas wasn't a partner. He's a would-be puppet master. Sally said that this trip wasn't a game if Billy was right. She suggested that they skip it. Billy pointed out that Jack would be there. Sally said she grew more nervous after Billy downplayed the pitfalls of going to France. Sally was not amused by Billy's swashbuckling jokes. Billy said he'd walk away if things got tough, but he suggested they act as spectators. Sally said that it would be okay if it were on a screen, but not in person. Then, Billy brought up Phyllis. Sally suggested that Phyllis could pick a fight with her in front of Dumas, but she could only take so much. Sally noted she had claws too. Billy quipped that they were gold-plated claws, and then added that nothing bad was going to happen. Sally shot back, saying that Billy just jinxed them. We're all doomed, Sally said. Billy said that if things get bad with Dumas, they'll pack their bags and go to another chateau. Sally said they could get back to packing. Billy suggested they buy everything they need when they're there. Sally shot down that idea. She asked Billy to promise her something. Billy promised to do what Sally was going to ask before she even told him what it was. Sally admitted that zero drama was not possible. She made Billy promise that if things got too dramatic, they would leave and get a chateau of their own. Billy said he knew how to put his cards on the table and walk away. He promised they'd be gone, but Billy was confident that wouldn't be necessary. He predicted the trip would be life-changing for everyone. After having her talk with Nikki, Chelsea returned to Newman. There, she overheard Victor say that the second wave to attack Billy was tomorrow. On his way out, Chelsea stopped Victor and asked for a few moments of his time. He told her to meet him in an hour at Crimson Lights. Chelsea privately told Adam that she wanted to make a deal with him so he'd stop attacking Billy. Adam urged Chelsea to let him handle this. Chelsea countered that she had a plan to offer Adam's father an incentive. "What in the hell would you take this chance, for Billy of all people?" Adam asked. He wondered if Chelsea was over her ex. Chelsea said he didn't need to ask that. Next, Victor met up with Nikki at Society. Nikki recapped her conversation with Chelsea to Victor. The mogul shrugged that Chelsea needed to figure out whether she was an outsider or not. Nikki said Chelsea should get points for dealing with the Newmans. Victor quipped that Nikki didn't give away her secret on how to do that. "If only there were a secret," playfully lamented Nikki. Nikki candidly shared that she suggested to Chelsea that she try to bribe Victor, not with money, but with something else. Victor said he didn't think much of Dumas if he invited Billy to his party. Chelsea told Adam that she needed to handle Victor by herself. Adam wondered what Chelsea could offer Victor. The con artist said it was information that Victor wanted. Chelsea said she knew who Aristotle Dumas truly was. The Young and the Restless recap for Thursday, June 12, reveals that Victor Newman will prove Tucker McCall is not Aristotle Dumas. Tucker's prison stint will debunk Chelsea Lawson's theory, so here's what I and our fans can look forward to. At Crimson Lights, Chelsea will offer Dumas' true identity in exchange for backing off Billy Abbott. Victor will wonder why he'd strike a deal for info he already has, but Chelsea will suspect he's bluffing. Of course, Victor will think Chelsea's the one who's bluffing instead, and he'll be proven right when she claims Tucker McCall is Dumas. Victor will acknowledge that it's a good guess, but he'll explain why it's impossible. It turns out Tucker spent the last 6 months in a prison in India, so Chelsea will realize it'd be hard for him to throw a party in Nice. Victor will make it clear that Chelsea needs to throw her support behind Adam Newman instead of protecting Billy, and will remain cagey about what else he knows regarding Dumas. At Sharon Newman's place, Maria Copeland will have finally calmed down a bit. Although Maria hasn't told Tessa Porter her secret yet, she'll suggest she's opened the door and started a dialogue. That's why Maria will refuse to let Sharon stick around for her when she gets updates on Nick Newman inviting her to Dumas' party. Both Nick and Maria will push Sharon to attend the bash after all, so she'll pack in a hurry and head for the airport with Nick. Once Maria's alone, she'll look at a family photo of herself with Tessa and area porter Copeland and seem upset. At the GCAC, Audra Charles will give Nate Hastings the news about scoring a Dumas party invite. Nate will seem suspicious and will want to attend the gathering with Audra, but she'll make all kinds of excuses for why he shouldn't go. After Nate backs down, he'll head upstairs to Audra's suite for a sizzling goodbye. At the Abbott mansion, Kyle Abbott will fill Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott in on Audra's latest perfume battle pitch. Diane will seem on edge over the whole thing, but Jack will be more supportive of Kyle coming to Nice. Although Diane will privately worry to Jack about Kyle's romantic history with Audra, Jack will have faith in their son. Jack will also argue that Audra overplayed her hand, so he'll think Kyle should come expose Audra's failed trap and leave Victor standing there with egg all over his face. After Kyle calls Claire Newman and learns Cole Howard is stable, he'll get her approval to go since this seems important to Jabat. Back with Audra, she'll turn down Nate's offer to drive her to the airport since she already got a rideshare. Nate will urge Audra to promise she'll stay out of trouble and will assume it's her ride when she gets a text. Of course, Audra won't tell Nate that it's Kyle, who'll send a message to let her know it's on and that he'll see her in France. In the Tuesday, June 10th episode of The Young and the Restless, Tensions simmer and relationships shift as characters navigate personal ambition, betrayal, and power plays. With Victor Newman once again at the center of the drama, the episode offers compelling developments that promise long-term implications. Victor Newman, ever the strategist, assigns Audra Charles the task of persuading Kyle Abbott to accompany her to France, aiming to combine their charisma and chemistry for a business venture centered around perfume. However, the plan quickly derails. Before even approaching Kyle, Audra gets into a heated argument with Holden, setting the stage for a rocky attempt. When she finally does extend the offer, Kyle rejects the idea outright, much to Victor's dissatisfaction. Victor's frustration grows when Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins taunt him over their own trip plans, likely to the same Dumas party he wasn't particularly invited to enjoy. Though Victor tries to brush off their teasing with sarcasm, it's clear their jabs sting. Meanwhile, Holden's storyline takes a more personal turn. After discovering that Damien played a role in getting him fired, Holden's anger boils over. In a decisive move, he ends his friendship with Damien, expressing bitter resentment over doing the dirty work and receiving betrayal in return. Lily Winters finds herself drawn into the drama, as Holden's outburst positions Damien in a more sympathetic light, perhaps intentionally. Some fans may speculate whether Holden is playing a deeper game, possibly to manipulate Lily's loyalties or to serve a hidden agenda orchestrated by the mysterious Dumas. With shifting alliances and unclear motives, questions arise. Are Holden and Damien secretly still aligned? Is Dumas using these fractured friendships to pull strings behind the scenes? The undercurrent of manipulation suggests more is brewing than what's seen on the surface. Victor's comparison to an 80s cartoon villain, "I'm surrounded by fools," adds a touch of humor, but also emphasizes the chaos surrounding him. His leadership and patience are being tested as those around him falter. This episode highlights both the human flaws and strategic misfires of Genoa City's most powerful players. Victor may be losing his grip on those he commands, while Holden and Damien's feud could be a smokescreen for something more sinister. As personal ambitions clash with old loyalties, one thing is clear: no one's path is as straightforward as it seems. For fans of The Young and the Restless, Victor Newman is the face of power, loyalty, and drama. But off-screen, Eric Braden's greatest legacy might be his 60-year marriage to Dale Russell Goodagast. And the truth behind their lasting love, it's far from soap opera fantasy. Eric Braden, known for his decades-long role on The Young and the Restless, married Dale Russell Goodagast in 1966. At the time, he was just starting out in Hollywood, and she stood by him long before the fame. As Victor Newman battled enemies in Genoa City, Eric leaned on Dale for strength and peace in real life. Their love story is a true contrast to the chaos his character endures on screen. Fans see Victor in charge, but Dale has always been the quiet anchor in Eric's life. They raised one son, Christian Goodagast, who is now a successful screenwriter and director. Dale rarely appears in public, but her influence on Eric's grounded nature is undeniable. Eric's rise to soap stardom brought both fame and long work hours. While he filmed emotionally intense scenes, Dale managed their home and family behind the scenes. She gave up many of her own aspirations to support his growing career. It wasn't always easy, but she did it with grace. When Eric publicly revealed his battle with bladder cancer in 2023, fans rallied behind him. But behind that strength was Dale, his rock during medical treatments and recovery. The emotional weight of nearly losing her husband was heavy, yet she remained composed and loyal, just as she had been for decades. Through every award show, interview, and health scare, Dale never looked for the spotlight. She stayed beside him quietly, fiercely devoted. Fame changes many relationships, but not theirs. Dale and Eric have kept their love strong by staying grounded in their values. In past interviews, Eric has praised her for her unwavering support, calling her the heart of their home. He's also admitted that success came with sacrifices, long days, missed moments, public scrutiny. But Dale took it all in stride. While The Young and the Restless made him a household name, Dale ensured he remained the man she fell in love with in the early 60s. She once told friends she married a fighter. But that fight wasn't just on screen. It was in how Eric never gave up on their bond, no matter the challenges. After 6 decades of marriage, the couple still shares a deep connection. Eric has credited their longevity to mutual respect, humor, and never going to bed angry. While fans obsess over Victor and Nikki's endless breakups, Eric and Dale's story is one of endurance. Their marriage is the kind of real-life love story that even soaps struggle to write. Eric Braden's journey on The Young and the Restless is iconic. But behind his powerful image stands Dale, his partner in life and strength in silence. For more inspiring love stories and behind-the-scenes reveals, stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily. In the glitzy world of The Young and the Restless, ambition, loyalty, and deception collide as Audra Charles steps into what she believes is her moment of triumph. With her sights set on launching the cosmetics company of her dreams and securing her relationship with Nate Hastings, Audra seems poised for success. But as events unfold, it becomes clear that she may be walking straight into a carefully laid trap, one that could cost her everything. Audra's hopes hinge on a high-risk scheme masterminded by Victor Newman. He's promised to fully fund her company, Vibrant, but only on one condition. She must sabotage the budding romance between Kyle Abbott and Claire Grace. Victor's aim is to eliminate Claire from the equation, and he's using Audra as the pawn to make it happen. While Audra agreed to the plan, she's reluctant to go too far. She doesn't want to betray Nate, and seducing Kyle is out of the question, not just for moral reasons, but because Kyle is clearly smitten with Claire and has no interest in rekindling anything with Audra. Still, Victor's demands persist, and the pressure is mounting. With a lavish perfume event in France as the backdrop, Audra tries to create the perfect scenario to isolate Kyle and expose him as unfaithful. Her plan? Lure Kyle away from Claire under the guise of business, then somehow make it appear he's been unfaithful without actually having to cross any physical lines herself. Despite Kyle's initial refusal to attend the event, Jack and Diane Abbott step in with their own strategy. Aware of Victor's potential manipulation, they encourage Kyle to go, believing that keeping a close eye on Audra is the best way to protect him. But this move might be more dangerous for Audra than anyone else. Jack and Diane don't trust her, and they're fully prepared to intervene if she tries anything underhanded. They know her reputation and suspect she might try to use her charm, or even more devious tactics, to carry out Victor's scheme. As her options narrow, Audra considers increasingly risky moves. Could she stage fake photos, send misleading texts, or manipulate Kyle's phone to frame him? All these ideas float through her mind, fueled by desperation and the fear of losing both Nate and her shot at success. However, Victor's true intentions are murky. He's already shown little respect for Audra, and may never have planned to deliver on his promise. In reality, she could be nothing more than disposable leverage in a long-standing war between the Newmans and the Abbotts. Meanwhile, Nate is growing suspicious. Audra has already lied to him about her trip to France, and while he doesn't know the full truth yet, he senses something is off. One wrong move, one revealed secret, and her entire relationship could unravel. The stakes couldn't be higher. Audra is caught between two powerful forces: Victor, who controls the financial future of her company, and the Abbotts, who are ready to expose her every move. If her plot fails, she could lose both Nate and Vibrant in a single blow. There's only one potential escape: honesty. If Audra chooses to come clean to Kyle and reveal Victor's manipulation, she might save some shred of her integrity. but the damage may already be done. Even if she never goes through with the act, her lies and scheming could be enough to destroy her relationship with Nate and discredit her among her allies. Adding to the uncertainty is Holden, a wild card in this tangled story. While he may appear to support Audra, his motivations remain questionable. He could just as easily expose her, especially if it benefits him personally. As Audra steps into the glittering party in France, she believes she's in control. But what lies ahead is not a celebration, it's a reckoning. Entangled in a ruthless power struggle, she's likely to become collateral damage in a feud far greater than herself. Fans of The Young and the Restless can expect explosive drama as this story reaches its boiling point. With secrets teetering on the edge and alliances shifting like sand, one thing is certain. Audra Charles is in deeper than she realizes, and her dream may soon become a nightmare. As we always do on Early Edition Day, we start with what is coming the rest of this week, June 11 to 13, then go into next week. Nikki Newman checks in with Chelsea Lawson Newman. They're talking about Adam Newman and work over at Newman Media. Chelsea talks about the Victor problem. He is demanding that Adam attack Billy Abbott, and she doesn't like it. Nikki wants to know why Chelsea is even protecting him. When Chelsea presses for advice, Nikki suggests offering Victor something that matters more to him than slapping at Billy. That's good food for thought. Meanwhile, Adam is delaying publishing a hit piece on Billy when Victor shows up at the office. Adam bickers that he's not Victor's attack dog, but Victor thinks he is. He apparently wants him on a short leash. Victor changes the subject, talking about Sharon Newman going to the party with Nick Newman. Of course, he doesn't know yet that she's not going to go. Adam thinks they might be reuniting. He just hopes Nick doesn't break Sharon's heart again. Victor doesn't care about that much. He wants to ally with mystery man Aristotle Dumas, and then work together to take down the Abbotts. Chelsea overhears Victor demanding that Adam go ahead and run that hit piece on Billy the next day. Chelsea asks Victor to meet her later. She then talks to Adam and says she's going to try and bargain with Victor, like Nikki advised. Adam is a little insecure and wants to know why she's defending Billy so hard. Chelsea insists it's just guilt, over the cheating and all that. She reveals she has something big to offer Victor. She thinks she knows what the mystery man's real identity is. Victor meets Nikki later, and they talk about Chelsea's concerns. Victor thinks that she should be Team Newman all the way. Nikki tells Victor that she gave Chelsea the advice to offer him something valuable. Meanwhile, Sally Spectra worries as she talks to Billy about what she should wear to the fancy France party. Sally is also determined to keep Billy chill while they're there. Billy hopes this is all a big setup, an ambush against Victor, because all of Victor's enemies are going to be at the party. Victor has a lot of enemies. Sally is worried about drama. She's also worried about the fact that Phyllis Summers is going to be there. Sally even suggests they skip it. Of course, Billy is not going to do that. He promises the two of them are going to sit on the sidelines and watch the chaos unfold rather than being part of it. We'll see how that works out. Victor meets with Chelsea, and they negotiate. She is certain she knows Dumas's real identity. She'll hand it over if Victor agrees to back off the Billy thing. I think Victor may agree to back off Billy, but only temporarily. You can't trust him. He outright lied to Lily about stuff. Any deal Chelsea makes is a fool's bargain. But Victor no doubt wants this information because he wants to walk into that party armed and ready. Also, Kyle Abbott gets Claire Grace Newman's approval on Thursday. Remember, Audra Charles approached Kyle trying to lure him to the party, but it didn't work. However, it sounds like she might circle back around and tempt Kyle again, and it works. Or Holden Novak maybe found a way to help. Claire's dad, Cole Howard, is super sick. He's in Chicago. Claire is probably going there too. She may tell Kyle, if it's that important, to go to the party, whatever. She's focused on her dad. However, if you remember, Kyle just promised Jack Abbott he would be holding down the fort in GC while his dad and mom are over in France. Looks like a change in plans. Audra's keeping secrets from Nate Hastings. She's likely lying about why she is packing for the party. She may blame Victor or say she has to do it because of all the buzz around Victor. If she has gotten Kyle to go, obviously she won't mention that to Nate. But I don't know why Audra thinks Nate isn't going to find out what happens at the party, since Lily and others are going that he talks to all the time on Young and the Restless. It's the big day, but before we get into party stuff, Christine Cricket Blair and Danny Romalotti are back in town. Daniel Romalotti is so happy to see his dad, Danny, and Christine when he runs into them in the Crimson Lights. Phyllis can't get Tessa Porter to back down. It sounds like Phyllis may still be bugging Tessa about Daniel. Maybe Phyllis wants Tessa to keep her updated while she's out of town. Davin Hamilton vows that no matter what he has to do, he will protect the Winters' legacy in the face of whatever this mystery thing is that's happening. The party is supposed to kick off on Friday the 13th on Young and the Restless. We are supposed to have Aristotle Dumas' big debut, but it may be a situation where the first guest arrives and they just see him. I'm interested to see if anybody says his real name out loud. Based on the leaked photo from behind the scenes of Amanda Sinclair and Lily with Dumas, and just based on some other things that are happening, it's looking like it's Damian Kane. But if you see anybody saying anywhere it's confirmed it's not, at least not yet. At least not at the time of me taping this. Chaos is going to unfold after the big Dumas' true identity reveal. Again, all signs do point to Kane. Lily even said his name for the first time in I can't even think how long. That was Friday before last. Again, that behind-the-scenes shot shows Lily in a very intense conversation. Josh Griffith may have invented some lover, even though we've seen her whole love life play out on screen since she was a teenager. But you never know. I will say I think Lily deserves a lot better than Kane being back in her life, if that's what they have done, because he did Lily dirty so many times. Daniel's making progress on Young and the Restless, but Phyllis is going to be out of control again soon. Daniel keeps getting closer to Tessa as she and Maria Copeland are falling apart. Chelsea gets Victor to back off attacking Billy temporarily, but once Victor's back from France, he's probably going to resume his anti-Abbott stance. Lily is stunned at the identity reveal. It would be really wild if Dumas fired Damien because he found out Damien was getting closer to Lily. There's a murder mystery coming that kicks off very soon, according to Nick Newman. Maybe at the party somebody dies, or it could wait until they're back in town. We'll see. The Nick Newman actor, Joshua Morrow, said the plot is an extravaganza. If somebody dies, is it going to be somebody important or a glorified extra? Audra makes her big move. Looks like she is going to get Kyle to France. Phyllis's desperation is on full display at the party. She's heading there with a deluded grand plan in her head that is never ever going to come to fruition. Let's be real. Nikki tries to rein in Victor at the party because he is going to lose it in a big way. He obviously has his own agenda going into it, but I don't think Phyllis or Victor, either one, are going to get what they came for.